Welcome to the Black Doctors Talk podcast. I am your host, Dr. Christopher Holmes, and member of the Black Doctoral Network. Today, you guys are going to be motivated and encouraged. Listen, we're going to take you to the next level after this interview today. I am here with none other than Dr. Sarah Renee Langley. Now, you may be asking, Dr. Holmes, who is Dr. Sarah Renee Langley? Well, she is an award-winning speaker, okay? She is a success strategist. She's a leadership development coach, and I could go on, but she's a licensed clinical psychotherapist. So this is going to be a great episode, great information, and you're going to be encouraged, I'm sure. So welcome, Dr. Langley.
Thank you so much, Christopher, for having me. I'm so excited to have this interview with you, and we're going to have fun.
Yeah, we're going to have fun because, first of all, I'm a fun person. I think you're a fun person, and that's going to come through, and we're going to give the people what they need. Now, I am here in Atlanta. Dr. Langley is a little bit further north than I am. She's in Virginia. And guess what, guys? It's snowing. She's not nervous. I live in Georgia. I am, okay? Yeah, she loves snow. We're in the South. We don't do snow. We just do Jesus, okay? That's all we do. We do Jesus. So y'all pray for us down here in the South because they're going to shut the whole state down. So I want to start with the interview. We're going to dive right in. So Dr. Sarah Renee Langley, will you please tell us, where does it all begin for you?
Oh my gosh. So I did not have the luxury of doing like retail or the food industry. And then, you go to college and then you go to college for carpentry and you decide that after you graduate from college that you're going to be a magician. I didn't get to do all that. I actually stayed straight through in the psychology field. So it started when I was 14 as a camp counselor for youth during the summer, right? And from there, I realized that a lot of people would come to me, even at the age of 14. So I've been working since I was 14. So there's no excuse for anybody else. Okay, but anyway,
Exactly.
I had realized that when people were coming to me, young, old, in between, they would come to me with their problems because they felt that they were comfortable in talking to me. They felt that I could keep their secrets. They didn't feel judged. They felt that I wouldn't judge them for whatever they came to me with. So I said, you know what, I'm onto something. There's something about this that I need to explore further. And that's what I did. I decided to go into psychology for my bachelor's, master's, Ph.D, and really try to understand how people think. If I can help them to understand the way that they think and help them to determine how they behave or to change their behavior through their thinking, then that makes me feel like I have contributed or had a contribution into this world. So that's where it started, all at the age of 14.
14 straight through in the minds of the people.
Yes.
I love it. So now I want you to maybe help us understand what or who is a leadership development coach.
Sure. So for me, a leadership development coach is more about focusing on leadership, helping people to understand or tap within themselves. So my brand is more focused on limitless leadership. So helping them to know that, you know what, there are no limits. Live, love, laugh, lead limitlessly. So when it comes to, being an authority, being in a position to lead, to understand, your presence alone can speak volumes to help people to get to where they are, to where they want to be. So the leadership development aspect is more about helping to cultivate, to help people to really see what they have within their strengths, as opposed to always, not looking at their weaknesses, but to look at what are their strengths that they have and bring to the table so that now they can actually make a contribution. Oh, and I'm really big on legacy, not only a contribution, but leaving a legacy behind for people to follow after.
Now, that could be a challenge for some people because I've encountered people and they come across very confident, but when they enter into a room, they start feeling intimidated by the power, the presence of other people. So it's like they're not able to own who they are, own their own authenticity, their own trueness. Like, how do you balance that?
Sure. So first and foremost, I really am big on dealing with imposter syndrome, especially for women in leadership. Although I do know that men also struggle with imposter syndrome. But for the women that I work with, these powerful influencers, these elite, women leaders all over the world, what they tend to do is compare themselves to other people. And they start to look at their inadequacies, their insecurities, the things, like I just mentioned, that they're looking at their weaknesses, what they classify as weaknesses. And then despite of their successes, they're looking too much at what they feel is wrong about them, as opposed to what is right about them. And who determines and classifies what's right or wrong anyway?
Right.
So what I do help them to do is, again, look at what's within themselves, look at their strengths, be able to own it, be able to put that to practice. The more that you focus on a thing, the more that it becomes your truth. So now we just have to shift your mindset from what you're looking at that supports your feeling about yourself in terms of not feeling worthy, not feeling deserving, especially because of how, society has been, or our upbringing has been, where it's more humble to, kind of dim your light. It's more humble to take a back seat and let other people shine. No, sir, no, ma'am. I'm here to help empower you to actually own it, to be conceited, to be selfish, whatever we had classified as being wrong. Actually, it may be a great benefit for us to really own our truth, our authenticity, as you said, our limitlessness, so that people can now look at, that's what's going to raise their confidence level, because now they're really looking at their strengths and owning it and being unapologetic about it.
Yes. And I know you mentioned earlier, a lot of your work is centered around women.
Yes.
And when I think about, I always think about my mother, single mother raising kids, right? And here in the South, and generally around the world, we see women in this very humble, backseat type position. I never witnessed my mother being humble. My mother was a very strong-minded individual.
Yeah.
And I say individual, and I say that specifically because I don't want to say woman. She was a person. She just happened to be a woman. So talk a little bit about why your interest is in women and how you try to counterbalance the perception of who women should be in the world, and as they enter to the world of leadership.
Excellent question. Excellent question. So with regards to that, I think about the times that when I started my clinical private practice some years ago, years and years ago, because I've been in the industry for 30 years, and I know I look like I'm almost 30.
Oh yeah. Great melanin right there, Dr. Langley.
But yes, right out the room, Christopher, I was right into this space in this field, in this industry, right out the womb. But I remember talking to women. I was into marriage and family counseling. And for the women that I would talk to, they realized that they were a wife. They realized who they were as a mother, as a career woman, but they didn't know who they were. Yeah. And what's so interesting is that it sounds like a simple question if you ask the question, who are you? What do you want? Those two simple questions can be so debilitating in the sense of people get stuck and they freeze. They don't know who they are and what they want. Wow. And that's exactly what I found, the women that I was working with who came because the challenge was going on with their marriage. But really, when I had to sit down with them individually, I discovered that they were feeling like something was missing. They were still unfulfilled. And that's when I helped them to identify that they were beyond, that they were more and worth more beyond the titles and the roles that they have learned to have, and to adopt as if that's who they are. I had a friend who, she knows we go way back in college, some 25, 30 years ago as well. And I remember her telling me, she knew that I was into this field of psychology. She was like, you know what, Renee, because everybody at our college, what they called me, Renee, my middle name. And she was like, you know what, Renee, I realized that now being a mother, a wife, a career woman, I'm still not fulfilled. I feel like something is missing and there's more out there for me. And I'm ready to discover that. So in terms of wanting to help these women to not take a back seat, especially, I'm so big on this. I wrote a book about it called It's Your Turn Now, 7 Secrets to Living Life on Your Own Terms. So y'all go ahead and pick it up.
I love that.
It really talks about, making yourself a top priority without guilt or apology. And in my book, I talk about specifically about how, you know what, when you now get to identify who you are, what you want, as opposed to making sure that everybody is first and making sure that everybody is okay and taken care of, but it's at your expense, you're making yourself dead last. And you feel like, okay, at the end of the day, when the kids are gone, married, grown, have their own children, your grandmother, great grandmother, and now you feel like it's your turn now. No, your time is now. And you have to be unapologetic. And that's where I help them through the steps in my book, as well as one-on-one services that I provide. I help them to now own it, to now make themselves first, top priority, without guilt or apology, without worrying about, oh, well, How about if, if I don't do my responsibilities, or someone falls on my watch, but why do they have to? That's when you get to see, as a wife, as a mother, and all that you have given and all that you've done, that your wisdom that you have imparted in your children, why should they fall? Why should they fail? Why does it have to be on you? You now take your seat, you take your turn, and make yourself first without guilt or apology.
Wow. So somebody's watching this and they have already decided that the thing that they want to do, they're going to put it off till later. They're going to say, oh, I'll do it then. And you're saying, no, 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 no. That thing, it's your time now.
Absolutely.
Be selfish. It's okay to put yourself first.
Yes.
We talk about that bucket. If your bucket is empty,
exactly,
you're not filling anybody else up anyway.
Exactly. But see, that's the misconception, Christopher, is the fact. I remember I had a client, and I never forgotten what she said to me. She said, you know what, Dr. Langley, I feel like I am on E and I still have 1,000 miles to go. And I have to keep going, even that I'm on E, because God forbid, I have, 2 little girls at this time. And God forbid, if I were to fail, if something was to fall on my watch, I got to juggle everything. But that's when we had to get to the core root of where that was coming from. Yeah. And typically it does come from our upbringing, what we witnessed, what we have concluded, what we have experienced. And now we keep that cycle going because that's all we know, until we do something. What I do with my clients, I help them to now create choice. To know that, you know what, take off the limits. It's not just limited to that one way, just because this is what you've known, and this is what is certain to you, because this is what you are familiar with. And that I tell my clients that I am not interested in helping you to function in the dysfunction. This is not a matter of you trying to figure out how to function and navigate through dysfunction, because that's all you know, because you're so worried about the unknown, the uncertainty. But that's where your more lies. That's when your next lies. That's where your limitlessness lies, is right across that comfort zone. And forget the fear. I know it's easier said than done, but it's not impossible. Yeah. So the more that you have someone like myself, holding you accountable, being your cheerleader, helping you to now get and cross the finish line, because we all can get to the finish line, but it's about crossing it. Yeah. So that now you actually get to your more, and you'll be absolutely happy that you did, because that's exactly what you were supposed to do in the first place. Wow. It's your turn now.
Oh, so see, I'm listening to you talk. You give me these images, and this is what I hear you saying, like in my mind. You are a coach, and you have these players that you're working with, right? You're coaching them to get the score, get the touchdown. Okay. And you have some players, we have people in life, or people that you're actually working with, that are saying, I'm okay with waiting to score. I'm okay with waiting to get the touchdown. And you're saying, no, baby. Why would you wait 10 years down the road to get your first touchdown? You can score right now and still carry everything and do everything that you're currently juggling right now.
Yes, absolutely.
Don't delay the win. Don't delay. Go and score.
Come on, Christopher.
Listen, look, you've coached me. Look what you've done to me. Look what you've done to me.
You're making me a believer in what we're just talking about. My own.
I love it.
Love this. Yes.
So also, I talk a little bit about, so we talk about the confidence that you're putting back in these women, because some of these people have lost their confidence in who they are. But also when they are confident, now they're able to make that space for who they are.
Yes.
Authentically. And honestly present their trueness in whatever space that is. So talk a little bit about that.
Sure. So I love the word that you're using, authenticity. To me, that's what limitlessness is all about, being authentically you, unapologetically, guiltlessly. Because a lot of times women do carry on that burden of feeling guilty for the fact that they decided to make themselves first. Yeah. You feel guilty. As a matter of fact, let's go even deeper. In counseling, coaching, and consulting, the endless counts of women that I have done all over the world, speaking to them on many stages, and just really with my message of helping them to know that it is their turn now, that it is time for them to take off the limits, go after their next, take off the limits, go after their next, be who you are, mind, body, and spirit, unapologetically and guiltlessly. Make yourself top priority. It's okay to do just that. Give yourself permission to do that. And in talking to these women, I realized that there's quite a few things that is challenging for them, because it's one thing to rah people and to cheer them on. But what we have to get to is the core root. And the core root goes beyond just what we're talking about. It has to do with how subconsciously they have concluded who they are to the world, who they are to others, who they are to themselves. And what I'm getting at is that these women, powerful women, successful women, famous women, celebrities, the Roundaway Girl, you name it. The themes that had come from this have been the following: them not really knowing what a woman is, what a woman's supposed to be. It's like they're struggling and feel like they're kind of limited, or they're in chains on what they have to associate or be to what they think or what they perceive or what they've been conditioned to think what a woman is supposed to be, how she's supposed to act, how she's supposed to behave, how she's supposed to be seen, how she's supposed to show up. And then if she's contrary to what the societal standards are, or the patriarchal standards are, then it's like, she starts to shrink back.
Yeah.
Oh, she was wrong. She didn't want it. She was guilty for even daring to step out, because if she steps out, she noticed she's seen people, her girlfriends or people that she's known, who've been called those names. BIT, or call, and then it's like, oh, she dares now say, well, I'm a boss, BIT anyway, she tried to flip the script, but then she's like, that girl or that woman is watching the repercussions of that person, of dealing with that. And she's like, you know what, I'm fine. I don't want to do that. Although she still walks away, still feeling like, okay, am I really a full-fledged woman beyond what society says? Who am I? What do I want? So with all of that, I mean, that's just one of many things, the struggle of what is a woman? How is a woman supposed to be? Or the challenge of, we talked about it earlier, you mentioned about confidence. She's not having enough confidence in herself, or she doesn't feel like she's worthy enough, or she doesn't feel like she's deserving enough. She's just not good enough, or she's not appreciated, or she's not celebrated. Or we can go on and on. You got all of these things compiling on that person's mind, on that woman's mind. And all she has to do is do what I have taught all of my clients to do. It's a formula, and I can reiterate this too towards the end if you like. But first and foremost, it's called DCBA. So it's easy as ABC 1, 2, 3, but it's also as easy as DCBA. And the first letter of that is decide. When you just decide, a lot of times, Christopher, I find that people want what they want. Oh, I want this, I want that, I want everything. I want to make them, $1 million a day. I want to, be the most famous person in all the earth. But did they decide? Did they even decide to? We skipped that step because we didn't realize that step was important, and it gets all the time. And that's why things don't stay afloat. So you have to decide that that's what you want, so that now you are laser focused and you are all in. Like, you know what? I'm going to discover who I am. I don't care about what comes my way. I'm just going to keep it moving until I get to the end. See where the end shall be. You have to decide. And then C is commit. You have to commit to the call. This is not, no, you can't be flimsy about it. You can't be like, okay, well, I'll just do this today, and then tomorrow, I'm not going to do it because I got too many things going on. No, you got to be committed to the thing. And this prophetess I know, she was telling us how God had gave her a word. She was saying that, well, why is it that we can't seem to have what we want? And she said that God told her, well, you're not all the way in. You're not fully committed to the call. When you're fully committed to the call, then you will get exactly what you are called and designed and purposed to have. So you gotta be committed. B, you have to believe, and not just believe in God, believe in the universe, believe in yourself. Believe in who you are. You'll get to discover yourself more and more. That's why a lot of times people fall into diseases, because they're not really in their full potential and purpose. They're doing everything else but what they're supposed to do on this earth. So you have to now get into a place where you believe in yourself, get to know who you are. And then finally, A, we always talk about action, massive action. Let's talk about allow. Do we even allow? Do we even receive what is supposed to be given to us that's waiting out there? God has given us, don't have me start preaching on a Sunday.
Come on, I'm ready.
Well, it's a collection plate. God has given us the provision when we were first thought of. Everything that we want, everything that we need to continue on in this world is already given. God did his part. It's time for us to do ours.
Yes.
It's time for us to do ours, but we need to now get into a place to allow it to now manifest, to see that thing come into full fruition, even if it's scary. Come on now, we all heard of it. If you're not dreaming big enough, you're not, or if it's not scaring you, then you're not dreaming big enough. Okay, get scared. It's all right to still do it scared, everyone. But make sure that you allow exactly what you are given and what you are called. You already have it. It's time for you to operate it, and trust and believe you will truly be that limitless leader that I was talking about. It's your turn now.
And you know what? There's another D in there. As I hear you say that, once you allow it, then you have to. It's not a D. Maybe an O.
Okay, go ahead. Add to
Own the fact that you deserve it.
Yes.
Allow it, and then once it happens, own the fact that whatever it is that you've been thinking about, believing about, say, you know, and I deserve it.
Yes.
That removes that idea of guilt.
Yes.
That removes the idea of what people are going to say when they see me with it. That removes the idea of judgment, that I think I'm better than. No. I don't think I'm better than I'm better than anybody. I just know that what I have, I deserve.
That's right. Amen.
And you don't care what other people think about you.
That's right. That's right.
And that's that confidence. That's that ego you're talking about. That's that boss B attitude that you're carrying. Yeah. Hey, you are everything and more. I love that. I'm gonna make sure we come back. DCBA.
Yes.
I love that. I love it. Listen, you are who you are for a reason. So there has to be people that you've encountered in your life that have poured into you, that have mentored you. Who would you say is, I hate to say the one person, but it could be one or more, but anybody that has really helped shape you to become who you are?
Now, see, why you ask that question, Christopher? I don't have my tissues around. Now, usually I'm the one that makes everyone cry. And if you understood that in terms of being a licensed clinical psychotherapist, one of our main jobs is to make you cry. I didn't mean to give up the secret, everybody who is an LPC, so licensed clinical social worker, licensed marriage family counselor. I know I did give up the secret. One of the secrets is that we look forward to making you cry. Why? Because we know that the healing begins when you start to let go of that stuff that's been holding you hostage for so long. So you got to start letting that thing shed away so that now you can allow the healing to come in, because you are deserving. Just like Christopher said, you're deserving of it. You're deserving of your healing. You are deserving of your deliverance. You are deserving of everything that God has given you and purpose for you to have, because it is your birthright. It is your birthright. Now, but I don't have no tissues with me. So the person who I always celebrate, oh my gosh, who has really mentored me and set the example of elegance and grace and wisdom and meekness and kindness and oh my gosh, go-getiveness and determination is Mary Nell Nelson Langley, my mother.
Come on, mama.
Oh my gosh. I don't want to cry, but it's okay to cry. It's okay. It's okay to cry. You said it earlier, right? Yeah. So, well, my mother, she's in heaven. And I want to say, one fun fact that many do not know about me is that I used to be a tomboy. I had 5 brothers and my dad, so it was male dominated. But my mom was running the show in that house. and so she was able to run the show with her meek, quiet, little 5'1" self, but she was running things in the house. And so with me being her only daughter, I have a sister, but she had passed away before me. She passed away some years ago before I was born. So it was, I came on the scene, and so here's the second chance for my parents to have a little girl. And I was just such a tomboy. I had to fight these 5 boys. They treated me like I was one of the boys too. So
no mercy. No mercy for you.
Right. And with my mom, what she did was she helped me to really understand the balance between being street smart, being tough, but also being, intelligent, like being book smart, being, marrying the two so that I can be a force to be reckoned with, and it's like, at the end of the day, with her strength and her resilience, she ended up having Alzheimer's disease. And it was something else, Christopher, to have once been in her hands, now her being in mine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a tough act to follow. These are big shoes to fill. How in the world do I now take care of this woman who has taken care of everybody for as long as I've known her? And through the years of being her caregiver for 12 years, until her final breath here on this earth, I tell you, it was amazing how I saw so much strength, even the more in her fight through Alzheimer's, and how I thank God that she remembered us, because many people say how the person doesn't remember them anymore, but my mom did. Wow. And the times that I felt weak, because at this time I was actually doing my dissertation, I was going for my Ph.D. while running my business and having staff and doing all these great, amazing things, starting to speak and, being a speaker all over the world. Like I was doing all these things, but I was still a caregiver for my mother. And the times that I felt weak, the times that I felt sad, the times I felt down, the times that I felt like, I just don't know how I'm going to get through this. My mom, with her being incapacitated, like she couldn't do anything for herself. She couldn't move, she couldn't talk, she couldn't do anything at this point. She would see me crying and she would raise her arm. Again, I just told you, she could not move, but she would try her best to let me know that she is still my mom and she has me. She got my back all the way up to the end. And she would raise her arm just to kind of summon me that she wanted to hug me. And I remember speaking about this. I was actually in Savannah, Georgia at a conference, and I was speaking about this at the time. And it was not a dry eye in the room. And how this woman, at the end of the day, my point and my message to you right now is this: she was not able-bodied. She didn't do anything for herself, but her legacy speaks volumes today, even with her not being here. And in that moment of her just hugging me, just to let me know that everything's going to be all right, because that's all she used to tell me. I'd be like, Mom, I don't know what to do. How I'm going to do this? How I'm going to do that? She's like, you know what? You're going to learn. You're going to know how somehow. You're going to know somehow. You'll figure it out. It's going to be okay. You're going to figure it out. And that was her way of letting me know, you know what? Don't forget who you are. Remember who you are. And remember, you will figure it out. You always have. You always will. So if her not being able-bodied can speak like that and leave a legacy that has really touched so many people all over the world, because I used to record and chronicle this all on Facebook. What excuse do we have as able-bodied people? And being able to leave a message and a legacy that's going to speak volumes, even when you're not here, when you're long gone. That's how we should think. We should think that way. So, my mom.
Even in our minds is where we begin to fail. And what you're saying here, even in her limited ability physically, mentally, she was limitless.
Yes, Christopher.
She was limitless. And I can now see where you get that from. Don't let situations confine you.
That's right.
If you just put it in your head, if you believe it, you can live a limitless life. Nobody can stop you, not even disease.
That's right. Come on.
Not even disease can stop you. Because if it's for you, you're going to get it.
That's right.
You're going to receive it. And you deserve it. Oh, I love it. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you for sharing that. And trust me, we just met today, you guys, 30 minutes ago. But I promise you, you are honoring your mother in such a significant way, because everywhere you go, they get a chance to meet her.
That's right.
Through you.
Yes.
So you're still spreading that message that she poured into you a long time ago. Be street smart. Forget those books. Live a limitless life, and don't let life stop you.
That's right.
Because at the end of the day, it's going to be okay.
That's right.
It's going to be okay. All right, guys. See, if you're crying, go ahead and get your tissue now. Go get the tissue. Come back and join us. We're going to be right here. Oh, wow.
I feel like I'm in church right now. I wish I could run around this desk.
Listen, that snow has purified us, y'all. So let me ask you this. God, this is already a great interview. We're not even done. In your career, what's one thing you wish you would have known earlier on?
Oh my God. Excellent question again. I wish I had known. Woo. I wish that I have known that I was good enough. I wish that I had known. Let me go even deeper. I wish that I had known that I wasn't damaged, that I never was damaged.
Mm.
I used to think that there was something wrong with me, and then I would justify it by comparing myself to other people. So see, it's one thing for me to be talking about this limitless, this limitlessness, and that being my message, and how you so made it so clear, Christopher, and how you have shared about, yes, I get it from my mom.
Yeah.
She was limitless, regardless of the limitations. She was limitless through and through to the end and beyond. She's limitless now. So it's like, I not only am helping people because of my book smarts and because of my experiences and my professional, background, but because of the fact that, yes, I did experience this as well. I felt like something was wrong with me. I used to compare. I used to have imposter syndrome as well. And I thought that something was wrong with me, and I would justify it. I would find things to make it true. Yes, I am damaged. Until one day, just the other day, I'll be honest. It's like one day, it hit me. I was like, you know what? I'm not damaged. I never was. There is nothing wrong with me. I don't need to compare myself to other people. I need to stay in my lane and be great in my lane.
Yeah.
Everybody, you need to be great in your lane. If you look at your hand and you look at your fingerprints, you look at your unique print on your hand, there's no one else that has your prints, your handprints like you do. So that means that you are unique and you have something here to offer in this world. You're not here by mistake. It doesn't matter that, you were a whoops baby, or, your parents wanted to get rid of you or whatever. The fact is you're here. And it's the reason why you're on this podcast listening. It is meant for you to know that you are not damaged. You never, ever was.
Yeah.
And when you realize that, now it puts you in a position, like Christopher just said, in terms of your mindset, because that's where it all starts.
Yes.
When you have that mindset shift and realize, you know what, I don't have to keep thinking the way that I'm thinking just because my parents, my great-grandparents, everybody else thought this way. I don't have to think this way anymore, especially if it's not serving you the way that it needs to. If it's not serving you and it's keeping you limited, then it's time to let go and become limitless.
Yeah.
So yes, I wish I've known that I wasn't damaged, but you know what? Praise God, I realized that I'm not. So, and I'm still here.
Yep. Yep. So here again with these images that you keep giving me, you said this, and I never saw it this way until you just said it. And you said that sometimes we always want to get it. We want to get in somebody else's lane. And then what I saw in my mind was somebody driving, and we see this on the road all the time. People put on their signal light and they keep switching from lane to lane to lane because they're in a rush to get somewhere.
Right.
But what is waiting for you in your future is not going to happen with a signal light.
Come on.
You have to stay in your lane.
That's right.
It's not getting over to the left and getting over to the right. If you stay right where you are, you're going to run right into what you've been praying about. Exactly. You're going to run right into what you've been asking God for. Yes. You're going to run right into what you think you want. Well, your desires and your wants are in your lane.
That's right.
Turn off that signal light.
Yes.
The other thing is some of us aren't getting over left or right. We're just putting on the hazard light. Why? You just said it, because we think we're damaged. We're not even getting over. We just have on the hazard light because we're damaged goods.
Jesus.
That car is not stalled. You are self-inflicting wounds.
Yes.
Turn off that hazard light, people. Come on. Keep driving.
Yes.
You're going to run right into it. Yes. And that is what I saw in my mind when you said, stop getting out of your lane. Stay in your lane and stop getting in other people's lane. Turn that signal light off. Everything that is going to, that life, destiny, whatever you want to say, whatever it is that's going to happen to you that you're going to get is in the lane that you're currently in.
Come on here.
Man, listen.
Wow.
I'm going to have to go somewhere and get in a closet when I get off of this interview. That was powerful.
Oh my gosh. That was excellent.
I told y'all we're going to drop some gems on this. I knew it. I felt it. God, we got to keep going. So we talked about what you wish you would have known earlier. Now here's another difficult question. What has been your biggest challenge so far? And what did you learn from it?
Hmm. Well, it goes back to the caregiving. The biggest challenge was being a caregiver because I didn't know all that I possessed.
Yeah.
I didn't know, but my mom did. Oh my God. Here's another tearjerker.
Mm.
I mentioned to you that my mom was at this point incapacitated. She couldn't talk, couldn't move, couldn't walk, couldn't do anything for herself. I was in California, y'all. I put this in my book. I think this was in my, I have another book called Speak Your Voice. Unmute your voice, be heard, and get your power back.
Mm.
Speak your voice, unmute your voice, be heard, get your power back.
Wow.
And I talked about this in regards to, I was a part of a mastermind and we were in California. And the way that we were doing the mastermind, it had to do with us, I'm trying to describe it. Kind of like we were resting or getting into a state to really tap into our subconsciousness. Okay. And that process, my mom was in Pennsylvania. So we were originally from Philly. And my mom could not talk, couldn't do anything. But this woman spoke to me while I was in California. Wow. And she said, you know what, baby girl, Nay, live your life. Don't you dare give your life up for me or for anyone. I want you to live your life to the fullest. I've lived my life. You keep trying to give your life to me and I see you wearing yourself out. I've done what I wanted to do on this earth. I was a mother. I was a wife. I went to school. I've done the things that I wanted to do. It's your turn now to live your life. And to give context to that, I was wearing myself out. I felt like I had to carry everything on my own. And unfortunately, and not unfortunately, again, everything happens for a reason. You know, I told you about my 5 brothers and myself and my dad. When there's a saying, you may have heard this before, when mama is down, then everybody's down. And so it impacted us in different ways. We were all hurt by the fact that my mom had Alzheimer's disease. And it got to a point that we were taking it out on each other, you know, because we were all just upset that, wow, we're helpless. It's our mother. And there's nothing that we can do to help her not have this disease. Yeah. So I felt like I had to carry everything on my own. And I was wearing myself thin. Again, I was going for my dissertation. I was, you know, in my doctoral program, I was running my business in different states. I, you know, was starting to, on my speaking career, I was doing so much and still being a caregiver, but I wasn't making myself first. Yeah. I wasn't making myself top priority. Again, this is why I empower and implore women in particular to make themselves first, because I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I don't want them to get to a place where there's a point of no return. So when she told me that, because I must have been in danger myself, I was really wearing myself thin. And when she told me that in my spirit, that's when everything changed and everything started to turn around. And I started to really know what it meant to be limitless, to really now take off the limits and go after my next. So yeah. And
I know you talked about guilt, and I'm sure you felt like you couldn't make yourself first because you had to make her your priority.
Yes. Yes. Now the guilt for me, if there was any guilt, it was more me beating myself up that I couldn't do more for her. Yeah. And to be honest with you, I'm going to be straight up honest with you, Christopher, and I'm sure many women can attest to this. It's like, do we feel guilty for making ourselves first? We don't really make ourselves first anyway. So where's the guilt? Because of the fact that we already are conditioned to think that we don't make ourselves first. If we attempt to do it or we try, there's all these things that these inhibit these restrictions or the discomfort of even daring to make ourselves first. So some of us don't even get that far to make ourselves first. We'll stay right in that comfort zone of feeling so bad that we're not first, but we'll take that because this is what we think a woman is supposed to do anyway. So with that said, it's a fine line, it's a balance between you making yourself first, making yourself top priority, because like you said, and I will throw this out there too. Make yourself first, make yourself top priority, because hey, how can you operate with an empty cup? But you're not making yourself first to pour yourself or pour into yourself so that you'll be fully recharged so that you can be there for people. No, you're doing this for yourself. That is the fine line and the balance. You're not doing it so that you can continue to give to everybody. Where's the chance where you will allow people to start giving to you?
Here's the word that I hear from the atmosphere: permission.
Yes. Yep. That's it.
And in that instance, when she gave you permission, it lifted the weights.
Yes.
But oftentimes, some of us can't live our most fulfilled life because we don't give ourselves permission to do so.
That's right.
And so we've got to give ourselves permission and say, it's okay.
It's okay.
Just go and do it.
Yep.
Thank you again for sharing another great story.
I'm telling you, this is fun. I'm having so much fun with you, Christopher. My gosh, this is an amazing interview and podcast. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for your transparency. I think it is when you enter into a space as yourself, is when you really, really are able to help people. And I can only imagine sitting down with you and you're my therapist. I'm like, listen, is there a blow-up mattress? I don't need the sofa. I need to lay down. I need to just lay down. This thing is wiping me out. Talk about this. What's your biggest accomplishment?
Being a caregiver.
The one thing you never thought you'll be able to do, right?
Yeah, I swear to you, it really is. I did not know what my capacity was until it was challenged in being a caregiver. Listen, I'm not married. At the time of this podcast, I'm not married. I don't have children. So how in the world was I to now be chosen to take care of who? My mother? I never had to take care of anyone. So for me to turn around and have to take care of my mother, come on. It was like, okay, I don't know what to do. And I remember I put it on Facebook. I was like, look, y'all, I don't know what to do. This woman is looking at me. I'm looking at her. And I just don't know what this journey is going to be like and what's going to unfold. And one of my childhood friends, Bertram Lawson, I'm shouting you out. He was like, you know what, Sarah? We've known each other since we were 4 and 5 years old. You know, you always figured it out. You always knew what to do. You're going to know what to do. It's okay. You've always been a go-getter. You always figure it out. You're going to know what to do with this. You know, it's going to be okay. And I never forgot that. And surely from the time that I started 12 years, well, now it's 15 years ago, but within that 12-year journey, it was incredible. It was incredible because I got to discover who I was too in the process. And again, taking off the limits and being limitless is what's so most important for all of us, is to not cap yourself based on your limited beliefs or what you've been conditioned or brainwashed to believe about yourself. It is time for you to discover who you are, what you want, and go after your next, because it lies right there in you being limitless.
Yes. I have a friend, I'm going to shout her out, Dr. Tanya Coons, and she talks a lot about labels and lids. Those are the two things that inhibit us in life: the labels that people place on us and the lids that we put on ourselves, because we can only maximize and get to certain levels of heights because of those lids that we have. And so we've got to remove both of those things. So that's what I kind of hear you saying. And I don't want to negate the fact that that you had a 12-year journey.
Yes.
That's a very long time.
Yeah.
That's a long time. And so I honor you for your commitment to that. Because there have been people who would have placed their mother in facilities and had additional help, and but you made it a priority that you wanted to care for your mother because she cared for you.
That's right.
And that was super important. So in all your traveling, and some people may have kind of missed this woman is well traveled, guys. She travels, she speaks everywhere. So when you think about your life and your journey and what you do, what's next for you?
Well, this year, I had decided to unleash 2 programs. One is my Limitless or Be Limitless Experience. And it's a group program where what I want to do throughout the year is actually select 6 to 12 women who are ready Because it's one thing, oh my God, no offense, y'all, but it's one thing to now, kind of push and prime and really help encourage you to really take off the limits, or at least start the process of stepping out to make the first step of what you said earlier, Christopher, owning your deservedness, that you are deserving of your call, of your desires, of your dreams, of your aspirations. And it's another when you're like, you know what, I'm ready. No matter what, I'm doing this right now. I'm ready to do this. I don't know what it looks like. I'm scared. It's scary. And I need you, Dr. Langley, to empower me, to mobilize me, to support me, to hold me accountable, to guide me, to lead me, to advise me, to mentor me. So when you're at that place where you're like, you know what, it is scary as this thing, because my worth and my desires and my deservedness are way more important than me living the life that I'm living and I'm feeling unfulfilled. I don't want to wither away. So I have clients right now who have signed up. And what I was saying as I was speaking made me think of this one particular client. I love her. I'm going to shout her out. Excel with Danielle is her brand, Danielle Robinson. And she's just an amazing, amazing person who is all about helping women to excel in their dreams and their aspirations and their goals. And she was talking about that, she was like, oh my God, this was a big, humongous step. She was very colorful, so I'm not going to use all the words she used, but she was just like, this was a huge step for me, but you know what? I'm worth it. I am worth it. And, my dreams are worth it. And I am paying for myself. I'm paying and I'm investing in me because I am deserving of it. I am worthy of it, and I'm worth it. Before anybody else can count you as being worth it and priceless and deserving, you have to start first and set the example for us to follow. So that program, Be Limitless Experience, the group program, is really a great time to join in because, we do these New Year's, resolutions, and they only last for 21 days or so. And then we're not committed. We didn't decide. We didn't believe in ourselves. We didn't allow, the process to really take root. So this is where it helps you to get from where you are to where you want to be, but with the support, with the guidance, and with a group of like-minded individuals so that you could all cross the finish line. So that's the one. And then the other one is the VIP Leader to Legend, Legend experience. So those are for my leaders, my influencers who want to take it to yet the next level, who's at a place of wanting to expand their vision, who wants to elevate in their revolution, who wants to now evolve into the limitless leader that she is. And that's where you leave, or these women will know how to create a legacy, a legendary legacy for other people to follow. So they're all about creating legacies at this point, and they want to know how to go about that as they still continue to evolve. They can still continue to expand in their vision and in their purpose and in their goals. So that's more of a one-on-one private experience with me, and that is what I'm also offering this year. So those are the two big services with my Limitless Leader programs that I am just ecstatic about, because oh my God, I just see how, just for the women who have taken me up on the offer and blessed me, who have blessed me to be a part of their lives. I never count it lightly, ever, Christopher, never count it lightly for anyone who chooses to work with me. It's an honor and a privilege to be a part of their journey, that they're saying, yes, I can be in their intimate space, to see them good, bad, ugly, beautiful, indifferent, and to see them evolve, to expand, to elevate. Oh my God, just being in the field that I'm in, it's just been a wonderful experience for the 30 years, helping people to evolve and to become limitless in their lives, in their careers, within themselves. So I'm just so looking forward to seeing this all the way through this year, and that these women will definitely leave an indelible mark. Oh my God. And that they get to the place where you, like you said earlier, they're giving themselves permission. Giving themselves permission to be limitless, no limits, unapologetically and guiltlessly.
Oh my God. Listen, the Black Doctoral Network is overjoyed that we have the opportunity to be connected with people like you, because you are out here making a difference in the world. And that's what we're really all about. How do we take our expertise and create change to make things and make people better? Talk a little bit about your affiliation with BD and why you chose us and what you're looking to get from this experience of what you've already gotten from being a part of the Black Doctoral Network.
Sure. Oh my God, too many things. So I remember I followed you on, I think it's Instagram. I think I may have followed you on Instagram, or I definitely was getting emails. And I had a couple of friends who actually were interviewed as well. And what I love, I'll be, oh my God, honest with you. It's just refreshing to be with like-minded individuals in the Black Doctoral Network. It is such an honor and a privilege to partner up and to really see the successes of Black Ph.D, Ph.D, just to see us in that light of excellence that we already knew. We all knew we had it.
Yeah.
You know, now we're making it really known, or now people are starting to notice even the more now of how excellent we are as Black folks, Black and brown folks.
Yeah.
So it was just great. Oh my God, to just be among you all and to know that I'm not alone. And it's one thing to know, but it's another to now experience it. Like, you know, now I know.
Yep.
No, I know now. And that we're all in our own way are leaving a mark in this world and making change and impact as we know how to do it. And that it leaves an example for others who are interested in going after their PhDs. I have plenty of people like, you know, I don't know, especially, you know, in our generation. Now I don't know how old you are, Christopher. So
I got some good melanin too.
Yeah. So I'll say our generation then.
That's right.
Who are like, you know what? I know that I'm the age that I am, but I just want to go after it. You know, I wonder if it's okay to do. And it's like, why not? Because you know what? You have a tribe behind you who have already set the example, paved the way, and we're here to support you. Continue on to making your mark by getting your doctorate, you know, so, and make a difference with that. So it's just, I just can't sing enough praises for the Black Doctoral Network and the fact that you exist, you know, for us to be a part. That's the most important thing, that you existed, that you decided to exist for us who are looking and seeking a home can go to.
Yeah, awesome. And we're so appreciative that you made the choice to join us, that you have decided to do this interview. This has been an amazing time. I have enjoyed every minute of this, and I'm sure our viewers and our listeners have also enjoyed this because it has truly been a pleasure. So Dr. Sarah Renee Langley, before we wrap up, will you please tell them where they can go to learn more about you and the work that you're doing?
Sure. You can go to my website, drsarahreneelangley.com. You can follow me on social media. They all are facebook.com/Dr. Sarah Renee Langley. Instagram, my handle is I am Dr. Sarah Renee Langley. Twitter, Dr. Sarah R. Langley. LinkedIn, IN Dr. Sarah Renee Langley. So you can make sure that you follow me there, but definitely go to my website. And if you sign up for my VIP subscriber list, you will absolutely get a free gift on me so that you can get more information that has been helpful. And I hope that this has been helpful on your journey to becoming limitless.
Awesome. I mean, what else can I say? But listen, guys, she's giving you the information. Go out, do it now. Don't wait. It's not later. Your time is now. Go out, connect with Dr. Sarah Renee Langley. She can help you do the things that you need to do to live a limitless life. And while you're out there following her, don't forget to follow us as well on all of our social media channels. Thank you again, Dr. Langley, for joining me today for the Black Doctors Talk podcast. It has been amazing. Guys, I hope you're going to come back and join me again next time for the Black Doctors Talk podcast. But for now, please go like, share, subscribe, and go and tell somebody about us. We want to hear from you, and we want you to join us each and every time. Until then, you guys be blessed and stay safe.